Welcome to the Viper Report on Gaza. Today, I'm going to try to best convey both sides of this altercation. I'd like to preface this by saying I condemn the violence on both sides. A peaceful resolution is in the best interest of all parties involved. This video isn't particularly about that. This video is about the reality of the situation. On to the first clip. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel.
What's going on right now, if you look at the images, heart-wrenching. What goes through your mind when you see that?
I'm very sad. When I see that, I'm very sad. We're sad for every civilian casualty. They're not intended. This is the difference between us. The Hamas deliberately targets civilians and deliberately hides behind civilians. What choice do we have? We have to protect ourselves, so we try to target the rocketeers. We do. And all civilian casualties are unintended by us, but actually intended by Hamas. They want to pile up as many civilian dead as they can because somebody said they use, it's gruesome, they use telegenically dead Palestinians for their cause.
These numbers from the New York Times should help convey the reality of the situation. I'm not going to say much about them yet. I'm going to let them sink in. And we'll move on to the next clip from the same interview.
Casualties climb. Are you worried that this will be seen by many in the world as an exercise in collective punishment and that world opinion will turn against Israel?
Well, they'll always look at the last reel of the movie. And of course, they get hit from the houses there by Hamas and Islamic Jihad fire. The interesting thing is this. We've asked the civilian population, the people in Gaza who are not our enemy, they're hostages of Hamas. We've asked them, please leave. We text messages to them. We call them up. It's cell phones. We drop leaflets. And Hamas says, no, don't leave. Stay. Hamas wants to kill civilians on the Israeli side. And the amazing, grotesque, and gruesome fact is they want to have as many civilians killed on the Palestinian side because it gets you to ask me these questions.
Okay. So letting people know that their apartment building, school, or hospital is about to be leveled to the ground in some way justifies the attack. In a lot of cases, there is a 3-minute warning given. If you were given 3 minutes to wake up everyone in your family, if you have a disabled person in your family, or elderly, or young children, you can see how difficult this situation is going to get, especially when you have 3 minutes to do all this and decide what belongings you are willing to take. But this is the excuse used by the Prime Minister of Israel. All of Gaza is under attack right now. So it would seem that by that logic, everyone in Gaza is being advised directly by the Prime Minister of Israel to leave Gaza.
The thing is this, we've asked the civilian population, the people in Gaza who are not our enemy, they're hostages of Hamas. We've asked them, please leave. We text messages to them. We call them up. It's cell phones. We drop leaflets. Please leave.
Now, why would the Prime Minister of Israel want everyone in Gaza gone, civilian-wise? This is a complicated issue, but I'll do my best. Now, the gas reserves in Gaza were first estimated at $4 billion. Now they have far surpassed that. I don't have an exact number in front of me, but that's what the research indicates. So that is incentive for Israel, monetarily. In 2005, Israel withdrew their military from Gaza and in their minds ended the occupation, although there is still a land and naval blockade and an embargo on them. Finally, the unity government between the Palestinian Authority and Hamas was one of the measures put in place by the US and the EU that was standing between Hamas and peace talks. Israel wants more land. They don't want to give away land. So derailing this seems to be in the best interest of the right-wing government. Now, even with all of these excuses, reasons you can call them, I cannot see any way to justify 75% civilian deaths. The threat from Gaza simply doesn't warrant the death of over 480 civilians. It just doesn't. The highest number was 3 civilians in Israel dead. Obviously this is bad. Obviously rocket fire is horrible, and anyone in a first world country probably can't imagine what it's like to live in Israel. But I know for a fact that they cannot imagine what it is like to live in Gaza, and neither can the people in Israel. Maybe they can because they see it sometimes, but that's another issue. Now, on the Palestinian side, the only way to justify the violence that they have committed against the Israelis is if they believe, and if they can present good evidence, that Israel is trying to remove Hamas from power and possibly kill most members of Hamas, as many members of Hamas as they can, as the IDF can, in the process. No matter what the situation is, no matter what examples you use, the oppressee in that situation, their only option in the short term would be to fight back. And I see people saying, and I agree, that a non-violent resolution is the best way. But if Israel is going to attempt to completely remove Hamas's influence from the Gaza Strip, that would change things completely. It would bring a whole new magnitude to this situation. That's the reality of the situation in Gaza right now.